Atmosphere, set lines, high streamline, and high calculation lines, X line, J line, interference with trying communication, setting, direction, signal, position, operation, and service. Calculate and modify high line interference, high track communication settings, 3 line positions, 6 line communications. Now, the 36 lines of field line, a rotation, center line, interference, location, and track communication by the Earth is central lines calculation of 6 lines, position of 4. Now, the line interference is solar parabola line interference, traffic communication setting, directing signal, location, heat signature patterns. The rotation surface is too high, calculation setting. So we've got to set up coolant line channels operation to your set location system. We're also going to set up line geometry, line interference, geometric patterns, communication streamlines, set location system. This is going to set up channel line interference, location, and galaxy line settings in all calculation positions. Now we go through box lines and triangulation line and position. Now this is one block surface locations, 1 line connections, and 1 pi. Recognition line interference and calculations to its modification sets lines and signals. Setting track communication settings sets direct signal location system. Now the platitude line interference of 6 lines of the moon lines, a 4 line generation line stream sets location high system. Putting line connecting high interference of balance calculation line interference line calculation levels of operation location setting. 7,000 line centers of channel operation location unifications, operation signals, and certification grounds. Line calculation line interference. A lines of T line interference position travels, travel line communication, telegraph line setting, energy graph lines, and a rotation surface to calculation streamline position location operation. Now, in direct signal and set location system, Mother Earth is getting ready to go inline setting. She's in the trimester line, center line interference to triangulation position locations, operation to set location settings, okay, to 12 signature patterns. Now, the rotation surface in the ground operation line setting is calculated and modified. How she sets her center line communication to ground lines, operation of new crop circle location system. Platitude line interference of timeline times sequence times pi recognizes its communication setting. Now, direct signal line interference of Mother Earth changes position locations of pi. Pi sets lines in 1% location setting. Now, the 60,000 line setting line interference is a dilation location to a system. The triangulation line interference location is a gravitational line stream. Setting direct signals in set location system, put her into the calculation line settings, indirect signals into theta communications of imagination. All levels of bandwidth correlation line interference, broaden your calculation streams. Set lines of string theory line interference, high calculation line stream line interference, holograph line calculation location grids. Calculation modify high interference and track communication setting. More levels of I receptor location setting, indirect location system. No lines of communication illusion, all calculate and modify interference locations and position. Theta line in imagination of phenomena. Now we come into the known to the unknown. The line center line interference is AI track communication with information panel opens all signals communication setting. Directing signal line interference to travel communication setting, galaxy line calculation streams. Setting line calculation line in positions. Semester lines of 7 track communications. Now the theta interference sets position locations. We have heat patterns line, triangle line interference, and triangle communication setting. Mother is the rotation line interference. That's seed pod line condition of transformation. Calculation modify high line interference classifies its calculation setting in position location of barometers. Now we change the thermometer line interference, the indication line conditions. I'll calculate the line interference of 0 to 9, lines of 3, set lines of the weighting line in the rotation center line system, 2 over pi, 2 line settings, and 2 tracks. New securities, parameters, and parameter line interference, and 36 field set locations, back to calculation. Now in direct signals and set location setting, she's getting ready to high-rise line setting into semester locations. Once she reaches 12 lines of semester line interference, we come into foundation graph line settings, indirect locations or AI setting. In that direct line setting locations, we come in all calculation setting, indirect signal location and zero gravity interference, 9 line track lines at 3 cell location high setting in position of the sun, setting calculation line positions of farther space locations. Okay, waiting on position. All right, so how's everybody doing through satellite communications? All right, Boson calculations, Tina line interference, Tina, or activity line interference, after calculations positions, we're gonna go back on live. Calculation Geneva, all calculation line interference, any calculation setting, Geneva, application system, Gypsy, intercom line interference, indication and position of 4-4. Train lines and 7 lines and 7,000 lines. Hemdall calculations, 0 lines, 0 line 1, line interference, line condition 2. 2 per interline interference, track communications. I'm going through solid graph line setting here, text locations. All right, Andre, set lines and high calculation. All right, so center line communications, coming in track communication, setting in positions. So you guys are writing line interference of 6 lines of 4 lines. So we changed position, location, track communications. All right, so we Zen line in rotations. Okay, we set up a Zen graph. Zen line interference and locations in box, line condition triangulation. 3 lines of high Zen line and Fibonacci, 3 weather communication line interference, percentage location system, calculation line interference, 100% location setting, direct signal location system. Okay? All right, so we take the 1 line setting, 1 line interference, 1 calculation setting into negative line interference, 3 negative line channels, line interference, and triangulations. The question mark line in the line rotation comes in affinity line setting interference, affinity to circle location system, travels line, center line interference, 2 out of line rotation, position attraction. Setting calculation line in position at all levels of calculation setting, directed signals, setting calculation scan lines to center line position. Operation surface, scan lines, high line interference, is sun line rotation surface calculation. Directing signals lines, 100% location to the moon line, 6 line rotation surface and calculation setting. Directing line interference, sets lines and position location operation surface. Triangulation, 3 set locations. Directing line signal line interference. So we take the line send line interference, echo line interference, line condition of tango. Now the foxtrot high calculation streamline sets box line rotation. So calculation line and rotation position attraction communication operation service. Calculation position attraction. All right, that's my question. All right. 1 center line communication, line graphs. Now it's going to get more complicated now because general lines all computer and location is space-time position. Tracking communication is all about understanding how to use the geo-line centers of Ethereum. Now, the 1 line center line interference, 1 line interference of 64 line communication setting. Trimester comes on top line, calculation setting direction. Now, recognition line calculation, pi is in the center position locations. Directing line settings, 1 position, 2 positions, and 3 set locations. All right, travel calculations, 6 lines and channel line interference. Center lines of 0, position operation, center line communication, 0 operation, center line communication, 0 operation location setting direction. Now, directing line centers, scales line interference. 1 line center line interference is 64 calculation setting, position of trimester. 7 line calculation setting, 7, 7, 7, 7, attract communication, balance line set locations. Directing signals, 7 lines of 144, set locations, 7 equal line condition of 144. Setting calculation lines of 144, calculation setting, the 7 line condition of 144. Mother Earth is line interference, northwest, south, and east, and 4 track communication settings, and 144 track line interference. Directing signal line interference, line condition system. Submersive line calculation. Directing signals and set lines, modification line centers of 0 line, 0 line, 0 line, 0 line. 0 lines of 7, 0 lines of 7, 0 lines of 7, 0 lines of 7. Equal line condition of 144. Track communication operation server locations, setting lines of 2 panels, operation streamlines, line calculation, streamline calculation, Mother Earth. Tracking lines and line interference, track communication line, position location of pyramids, set lines of 4 track communication setting, direct signals of 1, 2, 3, setting calculation of 4 lines and travel communications, directing signal locations. That's my question. All right, so in the line setting, is all calculated and modify how we use the 0 line set locations and directions. Now, directing line set location is a calculation streamline. So we come to lines at 0 line, 0 line, 0 line, 0 line. So it's 4 line set line interference, equal line conditions of 0, 0, 0. Setting calculation line interference, and 3 set location setting, directing signals. So 4 lines of high center, 3 lines in set locations, 40 line rotation interference. We take the 4 line center lines of 6, 3 lines center lines of 6, in position of moon line, operation of moon line rotation, in position location, kaleidoscope location setting. Directing signals, operation surface, and set location new grounds, operation surface locations. That might quick. All right, so 7 channels line interference is 7 position location operation setting. Operation line set line interference to travel communication. 1 line strip, 2 line strip, 3 line strip, 4 line strip location setting. Directing signals, upper line setting, delta communications. Theta line, operation surface, 3 lines and set locations. So we got 1 line, 2 line, and 3 set location setting. Now we set line interference in position of 1, position of 2, in position of 3, in position of 4. 4 lines in line interference, 4 lines center location of 3, 4 lines in line interference, 4 equals 3 line conditions of 7 line conditions in the system. Equal line conditions of 4 waves, set line calculates setting at 12 line rotation. Semester line interference is 7 track communication setting. Box line rotation into triangulation set lines and communications. That's my equation. All right, so theta line and center line is set out location and 7 line set location digital frames. Now the core line center line interference comes into routers and routers, line and line rotation interference and moon line rotation surface set location setting. Directing signals, open signal, line and rotation, center communication. Directing moon line, sun line operates at surface locations in alpha channel communication echo chambers. Setting direct signals and set location setting. Perimeter line interference of UFO line rotation surface travel communication setting, 6 position of center communication setting, direct line setting interference. travel calculation line, travel communication setting, direct signal locations, and galaxy line shift lines. Travel calculation line interference, travel communication setting, set lines of zero line operation surface and ground line operation setting. Direct signal line interference, travel communication line and position locations. Sometimes inline interference, opens all track communication setting, direct signals, calculation high interference, and mirror resolution communication patterns, and new recognition time sequence done. All right, operation surface, triangulation line, position of box line, triangulation line, and position operation service location. So we got 7 line, center, 7, center location line, and position of 4 line, and interference location 3, 3 line, center line, interference, percentage location, high center, 100% location, high center location, triangulation, position location, box line, interference location, triangle line, position location, traction. Traction communication line, direction line settings, 3 line, center line, interference, 3 line, center line, interference, 3 line, center locations. Box line centers of 3, 3, 3, set location setting, 3 line center, 3 line center, 3 line center, heart, mind, and soul, calculation line interference, body application line interference, crossing strains, calculation line interference, 12 line calculation position, location, box center. That equation. All right. So we all having fun yet? But it's amazing how you set line calculation and interference. So we're all in communication line center, CPU line interference. Now the CPU line in the line rotation. Set calculation lines, company line interference, provocation, unifications, 3 line track lines, so that's 3 line positions, right? But there's always calculation line interference. We have 4 line and a waiting signal, setting calculation line interference. 4 lines at high interference equal to size center. 4 equals lines of 3 equals lines of 7. 7 positions pyramid. 4 track communications in position of film director location setting, direct signals, direct locations. That's my equation. All right, so the pyramid line center line interference is 7 bodies of water, set location of Mother Earth. It's now set location position of traction. Now, in directing signals, you have to understand how to use the box lines and position location of frame lines. 3 lines of 3 box location setting, direct line conditions of 1, in position of 2, in position of 3 set locations. 3 line centers, triangulation in the center position of locations. Setting direct signal, flux pass, and line calculation, strain line, set line in positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Set locations travels. 2 panels, line, center line interference, track communications, direction of time sequence, 6 lines over channel, operation surface lines, box line, position location, plateau, triangle line interference, track communication, and 3 set location settings, in positional locations into generation line streams and set locations. That my equation. All right, generation line settings, solar graph line settings, 6 lines, equal lines of 4, 6 4 line interference, equal lines of 4, lines equal lines of 3, sign the calculation 7 in position. Okay. So we take the line center, 4 over 3, 4 over 3, and 4 over 3, northwest, south, and east instead of locations, right? So we take the 4 lines of the north line, we take the 4 lines of the east line, we take the 4 lines of the west line, we take the 4 lines of the south line communication into a diamond core line setting, direct location setting. Indirect line setting, 4 equals lines of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 3 line setting, 3 operation, 3 circles. Bracket line calculation setting, equal line condition system, 0, 0, 0 operation instead of location setting. Directing signals, equal line conditions of 1 position of traction. That my equation. All right, that's set up line condition of northwest, south, and east. Triangle line interference and track communication 7, 7, 7, 7. Box line calculation setting. Direct line conditions of 4. Set location setting directions. Setting calculation line interference. A 3, 7 line condition system. 3 line setting line interference. 4 lines of track line interference location of 3. 3 equals line 7. 7 line conditions of 5. Line conditions of 12. Setting calculation line grounds. Operation surface and set location system. 0, 0, 0. Track lines of 1. 1 line setting. 1 interference. 1, 1, 1, 1, position of 4 lines, track lines, and high interference of 1, 1, 1, and 3 set location setting, direct locations of Mother Earth attraction. That's my equation. All right. I know there's a lot going on to set lines of communication setting directions, guys. So, it's a process, isn't it, though? How it calculates and modifies all calculations and formulas, equation location, and set lines, high position location, your CPU line setting direction. So in that signal line interference, we got all calculations modified. All calculation line interference is 7 bodies of water calculation of Mother Earth. Now the rotation line interference comes into box line, triangulation line setting line interference, box line connection setting, triangulation box line, and position of box line, and position of triangulation line connections. So setting calculation line interference. Okay. So directing lines of triangulation, 1, 2, and 3 lines, and cross and stream lines, and set location cross and stream lines, and 2 box lines, and 3 box locations, 3 triangulation lines, center line interference, and calculation of timestamp. Timeline center, time strain interference, set communication dimensional line rotations due to sun communication operation surface, moon line set lines and high interference at 6 communication setting, directed signal line interference at center communication operation surface and set location system. That my equation. All right. So there's a lot of calculations and settings line and height and position locations, right? Yeah. So directing line signature, line streams. We got two lines, center line interference of longitude, latitude, right? Set locations, positions, coordinates, locations, high setting. Triangulations over pi over 6. Triangulation location over 6. Triangulation location over 6. Triangulation location of 6. Diamond core line, center line interference, center communication line, zero gravity line rotations, center calculation of magnetic high line setting, and travel communications. Now, directing line settings in position of two panels, operation locations, travel communication line interference with sun line rotation surface and sublocation setting direction. Directing line center line interference. We take the 6th line, have calculation line as the north line, east line, west line, south line. Coordinates line interference is zero line rotation interference, the 7 line and position location calculation line and position. 3,000 line yards, calculation lines, 6 lines of height, center, and interference of travel communication lines. Percentage over lines of pi, correlation line, direct location system, and direct location system. Box centers of 6, 6, 6, 6, and position locations of theta line, rotations, position of all calculation modifications, center line communications, open to all signal locations, satellites, and modem line rotations, center calculation line interference, and other correlation line directions, into moon operation line calculation setting, in-line communication system, and theta line interference, and travel communications in any direction. That way equation. Hoo-ah. All right. So it's amazing how to set lines and position location and theta line settings, okay? Direction of time sequence times the lines times pi. Calculus modification line calculation setting. Hemisync line calculation setting. Automatic view line interference, H2O, water containment line, streamline interference, electrical lights, electric computers, electrical line rotation, position, track communication setting, directing signals and sublocations and positions, some other refined setting. Circle line rotation, directing signals and sublocation, all right? Swivel lines, a swivel line interference of travel communications, right? 3-line in-line calculation streamlines, directing line signals and sublocation of 3 sublocation settings and direction. Now, directing line center is a center operation line surface, sets calculation of sun lines and communication to its position. Now, line setting is all about understanding the Gaussian lines. The Gaussian lines of doors and line centers of 2-track communications, right? Set lines of 3-line settings in position of all of those. 3 lines of 4, 4 lines of 3. Set lines of 7, 7 set locations, and 7, 7, 7 track line communications. 4 lines of high interference of 7, 7, 7, 7 track lines of high center locations. 7 up top and 7 line positions at bottom location setting. Practical location of 7, 7, 7 equal line synchronized system. Travel calculation settings of 4 zeros operation set location system. Putting the pyramid act line interference and Merkabah position location operation setting calculation setting direct location system direction. Demo equation. All right. Center calculation line interference. Understand how to set up the cosmic universe and line stream locations of theta settings. Indirect location system of Mother Earth has to understand the communication to its position. This modifies all calculations in computer operation line interference to traffic communication line interference and metric communication setting of scales line center interference location of sales. Sales lines of dimensional line rotation, center line interference to traffic communication setting opens all signals to the set location system, a direct location system, a direct location sun line, and the operation server location system, position location operation. Directing line settings is understand the dimensional line rotation of its cell locations. Now, the center line communication of the moon is circling calculation lines of 6, set specific locations of 4, or 4 lines of line condition of 3, or line condition of 7. See, Mother Earth is trying to get in rotation center, setting calculation line interference, heat signature patterns, commanding line calculation lines and position location of equal line, set line conditions, eagle line, triangulation line interference, in-line condition, separate line condition, barometer line interference into eco set location system, energy, collaboration, communication, operation setting. Take on equal line, center line interference, changing the eagle line and ground line, operation surface location triangle. That equation. All right, so center calculation line position locations of Mother Earth is the operation surface, how we set line conditions at tone settings. Now that it's got an alpha line and rotation set lines and high calculation lines, a graph line stream location, and voice line center location to its system. Now, line high interference is position location on all levels, 0 line rotation surface and calculation. Directing signals and set lines at 3 set location lines and barometer locations. Directing lines and set location setting direct signal. Setting lines of high stream interference, 0 lines of gravity, and Merkabah set lines and high calculation of pyramid, line calculation streamlines, and 12 signature positions into 5 programs of set location directions and set locations. Now, directing signals set lines of calculations. Now, we set lines of 0, 0, 0, 3 lines and lines of 1, 0, 0, 0, 3 lines of 2, 0, 0, 0, 3 lines of 3, 0, 0, 0, 3 lines of 4. In calculation line interference. Puts position location of 6 and lines of 4. 6 lines of 4 lines of phenomenal line interference and pyramid activation line, streaming set location direction, high center and position of operation. Setting lines as 0 lines sets lines as communication, circle line of communication into its console line interference modification, triangulation line and position attraction. Now directing lines signals in 1 line setting, 2 position, 3 lines, 4 lines, 5, 6, and 7 rotation, and with new bodies of water track communication. Setting lines of 0, 0, 0, 3 set locations. Setting line calculations of 0, 0, 0, and 3 line communications. Setting calculations of seat pod, line center line interference, line condition of 3 line center line interference, a calculation of 2 line track communication setting, direct line condition opposition, the balance calculation, a seat pod calculation line streaming, a high interference location, the balance line calculation setting, new operation line signal location, the ground line operation signal location of Mother Earth, position operation to its surface. Done by equation! All done. All right. It's all set position. It's all good. So setting position location is really to understand how to control your line setting and stream location centers. So we got a box line and theta line, a 10 line position of traction, right? Now that directs location in direct location system. Now center lines to center line communication opens up higher levels of channel into all realms of communication. Now, directing signals is set lines as 0 line rotation surface, sets line communication, 0 line communication, and magnetic highway information near clouds, setting track lines of communication, higher line connection to a system into all set locations. See the I circle line, setting location, Mother? Done through equation. My voice is channeling. All right. So modification is all circulation rotation. The circulatory line interference puts position location in 1 track center. So we go into 1 line setting, 2 line setting, into framing line rotations into subsequent line streams, 0, 0, 0, and 3 line connections, right? So it's 1, 2, and 4 set location, right? You're just saying where 3 is. 3 sets of center lines of 3 set locations in the center position. That puts mother line setting line interference in set location of 3, 3, 3 in center calculations, and 3, 3, 3 in bottom locations, and 3, 3, 3 in center location, and 3, 3, 3 in upline center line interference, travel communication, and position and balance. Set lines at high interference is set lines of 0 gravity, 0 operation, 0 circle, 0 line rotation, 1, 2, and 4. Sets calculation line in 4 over 3, sets lines of 7 in 7 location, 7 location, 7 location, 7 locations. Box line, theta line, rotation, surface, and calculations. Done by equation. So, whoa. So it's incredible what's going on through track communications on all levels of indication line, conditions, and positions, right? So she's all set up line conditions to her 7-digit code line interference in your set location lines and positions. Remember, she's got to be in line in your setting. And the only way to do that is understand the correlation setting to the cosmic universe location to its operation location setting, because it's the Earth line that changes the rotation surface. So you got the Earth line rotation. Okay, you got ether channel line operation, core line recognition time sequence. It calculates lines. You got spectrum lights. It's a location of orbit channels, calculation of T reception line streams. You got orbit line interference, calculation of computer operation line setting, and travel communication settings around calculation in set locations. Okay, it's all set up. Now the graph line sets lines of high interference, sets lines of 12 communication setting and dome line centers and set locations. Now this directs signals and cross signals. We go through the line center line interference to track communication setting in the observation system and calculations to its position locations. Now this directs signals. Directing signal line interference is sun in set location setting and direct signal in set locations. Now in the line in and the line rotation position locations, this is where we come into our calculations, space odyssey settings. Now the directing signal location is all levels of calculating high interference. So we got 4 lines of channels, 3 lines center line interference of 7, 7, 7, 7. Directing signals, center line communication, setting direct line setting. Okay. So this is a torical field line rotation center lines, a circle line rotation is set location setting direction. Now this directs the signal. Setting calculations of 6 opens up the moon line rotation surface in the opposite direct location setting in future operation set location in system. Directing signals and set locations. Done by equation, all right? So she's got an atmosphere line center location algorithm that sets line conditions to her sun and her position location to moon. The operational line center location sets of the graph line stream location operation surface. Sets calculation modification or 7-digit code lines, a code weaving, code activation, code streams. Puts specification, telegraphing, inline rotation interference, telegraph interference, and track communication setting. Positive, negative, negative, positive. 3 lines of center lines, position location of 4, 4 line centers of 3, 3 line center of 7, 7 position of 5, position of 12, 12 line signature locations, 7 lines of signature patterns instead of location setting, 7 direct line center locations into semesters and triangulation line conditions of theta of operation surface instead of location setting, and direct signal locations into immortality locations. Done by equation. All right, it's all set location. All right. I'll be doing through equation. All right. Yes. Let's see. Interlock settings, comms, relay switches, copper, yeah, tungsten, yin yang. Bipartisan, yep. Bipartisan location line setting, the direct location system, positive location setting directions, yeah. All right, so line setting. Okay, so we got line setting location positive, line condition negative, positive location negative, 9 position positive, negative, positive, positive location setting directions. All right. Setting direct center line interference and mother calculation understand the sun line in communication to moon line setting. Now, directing line setting is line conditions of 3, okay, over 6. So that's 30 line center location of 6. Putting line centers at positive line interference, indicating line interference. See? Directing line center line interference, position location, line condition of 6, in position location of 6, and negative line setting. Directing signal lines of positive, position locations into negative. 6 positive over 6, 6 line center line interference, line position of 4, 4 line centers of 3, 3 line center line into positions, into 7 line calculation streamline, 7 directions, 7 operations, 7 grounds, and 7 plus 7 line condition setting is direct location system of XT1000 line stream is location system, and direct signals is locations. Down by equation. Okay, so she set up location to her setting location number sequence. All through code frequency line settings. Multitude map lines, string lines, set calculation line interference to geo line interference at all position of field line stream line. So it's 36 line settings. It's location of fields. Operation line interference, 3 line centers of 3, 0 location settings and top location system. 6 lines on high interference, 1, 2, 3 in position of 2, 4, 6 instead of locations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 indicating line interference. So it's 6 line conditions at top, equal location of 7 instead of locations. Directing line interference, travel communication of pi, directing signals instead of location direction. Now, setting line calculation setting, we take the one line in line equal locations is 1% instead of location setting directions. That changes line connections in position of 12 line signatures instead of location setting is semester over pi. Down by equation. All right, so she's center line her communications of pi now. Directing lines at 36 fields. We bracket line center line interference with the 3 line setting, 6 in position, 3 line setting, 6 in position, 3 line setting, 6 in position. So she's bounced through sun and she's bounced to the moon of operation now. Done by equation. All right. Okay. Woo! It just blows your mind when you get to those line settings, location of centers, right? All through pi calculations, right? It's all set up. Okay. So, setting line calculations of pi lines, direction of flywheels, calculation of center line positions. All right. Now, the center line communication is 0 line rotation interference. That's 24 line signatures, 24 line interference, and 24 positions of track lines, 24 directions of north, west, south, and east instead of location setting, direct location system, direct location setting direction. Now, you have to understand the diamond 4 line center line interference is 0 line operation surface instead of location setting directions. So that's 3 lines of setting in triangulation into line condition interface. Now, the interface location is a vector over pi into velocity through an acceleration line stream in set locations, directing signals in set locations. Down by equation. All right, so she's got measure counts, line condition of scale lines, scale position location on the left, scale position location on the right, center calculation, she's now in bounce line signature, positions of patterns. See the intelligence? Mother Earth rotates as line, ground line interference, a gravity line, row shift, line communication of clouds, line channels, high set location, and position location of tree formation line settings. Branching out and calculation of string lines and 48 line windows, 72 line computers, and 144 track lines and 0 line rotations and 4 set locations of high setting in direct signal and set location system, and 5 calculation line setting of 6 lines of 4 line of channel operation line calculation streamlines in direct locations. Done by equation. All right. So there's a lot to set up locations of theta line interference and Mother Earth location attraction, right? Knowing exactly what you're doing through set location setting and direction. Okay, so we have to go through line signatures now. Calculate line interference, TV box line center, and TV reception location setting. 3 box line channels. Okay, we got 3 box lines. Lacing lines, frame lines, and 2 lines of high interference. Set location high interference. 2 over pi, 2 line setting, 2 position of track. Now the track line interference sets lines in satellite communication. Inline interference, satellite communication, inline conditions, satellite conditions, inline conditions, inline satellite interference, track communication, satellite connection, right directions. All right, so 3 lines of setting, 6 positions of the lines, and 9 in the rotation system. Triangle line interference of 12 calculation line interference. 12 lines, center line into 24, setting coefficient of 48, line position 72, center lines of 144, and set location of 340 and 344 and center line connection system. Travel calculation line in a 644 and team line center rotation system. Now Mother is caught up and set line calculation line setting in direct line signal location is CPU line interference and spacing line calculation at 344 clock lines and team line center line interference at 644 track communication setting in direct signal location of 0 operation, center operation, and magnetic high wave information line cycles and set location directions. Done by equation. It's all set up. Author algorithm. Multi-pass. It's all good. We're all set locations. Okay. How's everybody doing? Modifies the sonar also updated through road travel. Celestial bodies, allegoric waves, space lines, and galactic lines of alley space sequence location, training lanes, and interference position location, and indicating line interference, support calculation line streams in the line calculation setting. Relay pro location non-interference in a direct location identification line condition at 44. Direct line condition of gypsy position attraction. So knowing exactly what is happening through line signature line streams. Mother Earth is caught up now in signature line stream locations, right? She's in a 7 line setting. Tomorrow she'll be in 8 trade master locations in infinity line calculation setting into infinity line calculation stream lines. Put her in position location track lines into 0 lines and line calculation setting. 3 on waiting signal in position of 12. Setting direct signals of clock line rotation surface is center line communications, right? Pi center line interference, travel communication at 3 settings, right? So 1 line over 3 set locations. 3 lines in high interference and position location of 6 and set location of 9 set locations. Now the 9 lines equal line conditions waiting on 3 set location setting, direct line interference in 12 set locations, right? So calculating line interference, 12 equals lines of 12, line center line interference, travel communications up, position of north and set location of south, direct lines of east and position of west and set location direction. Now directing line signals in high interference is 3 over pi, 3 over line setting, and 6 over position, and 9 lines and set location setting. So we put lines of 0 equal lines of 12. Now 12 line sets, line position location travels. So we got 12 line measure, 12 correlations to 12 position of panels. That's 36 fields in set location setting, directing line interference calculation of Mother Earth projection. Setting calculation to its directions. That makes equation. All right, so 36 fields lines are set up now. All right, center line interference, center calculation lines of 0 lines, equal lines of 0, 0, 0. 4 line center line interference, location of 3, 0 line interference, 3 sublocation directions. Now directing line interference sets lines of 3, position of 4, position location of 6. 6 lines of 4 line setting, sets position of the moon, operation surface going forward in set location direction. Directing line, center line into 3, setting lines of sun line rotation surface, that's line calculation setting. Graduation line and rotation in position of 4 over 3, sets calculation into 2 panels, operation line connections into 140 graph lines of crisscross stream location directions, and set calculation line directing high interference in high in line rotation system to its position location, track communication line interference, track communication graph line, stream location line connections to its solar system locations. That might be all right. So the solar line setting, solar strip location system, high line interference, track communication, the 3 centers of panels are set up now. Okay, rotation surface location line settings. We got upper line rotation, voice line, grid line, and operation surface location calculations. So that's 1 line in provision, 0 operation, set location, right? 0 lines and 0 line operation circle. Calculation of 0 line, 0 operation setting. Directing lines of 0 operation center location system. Setting calculation of one line, set line connection setting, 1, 0, 0. Calculation of zero line, equal line conditions of line interference at 0, 0, 0, locations of 1. Calculation line interference, 72 tracks, 144, ground line, center line interference, operation 0 locations. Setting lines of 7 lines of trimesters, equal line conditions of 5, 5 lines are over lines of 6, 6 lines over 4, 4 lines over 3, 7 to indicate line interference, location, position, probe location, setting, direct location system, balance correlation line, direct location, SPAC contraction. All done by equation. So, you got to take breaks because there's so much to set locations into Arthur and Mother. She's extremely happy now. She's got this big smile on her face. Okay, so the operation line setting direct location is the center communications, right? Center communication line center sets a flux capacitor line condition of streamline setting. Directed signals, operation surface, and a Fibonacci line stream in set location setting. Directing line centers of 4, inline conditions of 3 in set location setting. 4 in traction, 3 in division. Okay, center calculation of 2 panels, operation line connection setting. Putting shield plates and set line direct line settings. Now, the position locations on line. 1 tether, calculation of the line interference of 1% line calculation streamline, set location setting, direction system. Directing line center line interference of 12 line setting, rotation interference in position of 12, calculation of 144, track communication setting, directing signals of 24 signature, 24 line setting, 24 activation locations at 24 north line streams. Diamond core line setting, Merkaba position location up in position line setting. Northwest north line interference, quarter line interference of 7,000 line interference, calculation streamline, direct location system. This changes line communication lines. This questions lines infinity line rotation surface. Calculation modification, triangulation line settings, all calculated modify into line communication setting, direct signal, locations, Merkaba, line connecting high in line rotation and center communications, operation magnetic high line channel of operation stream. Done by equation. She's all set up. Metric scale. Scales lines of balanced lines of yin and yang. Process line, setting line interference to set location system directions, right? So we go line to line interference, line calculate setting, direct location setting, 6 locations of 9, set location setting. Directing line centers of 6, and position location of 9, set location direction. Direct line center affinity 8, setting calculation line interference. UFO line rotation, UFO calculation setting. Sun communication operation, direction signals. Setting calculation of moon line, operation surface and set location setting, barometer. Calculation of travel line, Fibonacci line, swirl, set location direction, set location system. Directing signals, setting lines of sun, rotation surface, 2 panels operation lines. Infinity line interference, travel communication operation surface, ground line operation setting, direct signal, set locations. Done by equation. It's all set up location setting, direct signals. All right, sun and operation. The sun line, set line communication settings, directing signals, line connections to its earth line rotation. Setting line in the line rotation and position locations, obviously its crevice line communications core line, setting direction system. Okay, setting line, center line interference, 3 set location travels. Okay, directing center, moon line rotations, UFO line rotation surface. Travel calculations, scan line, send line, operation surface, set locations opening up track line communication. Directing signals, high line interference, unification line centers go through the sun line, operation surface to the sun communication to its moon line, that's communication setting, indirect signals, and position location operation. That by equation. All right. Yeah. So I set up ether channels for Mother Earth. All right, so she set lines of communication. She's extremely happy now. We're almost set lines of communication new settings. Indirect signal line interference. Now we got our other line interference, line conditions of box, line position of triangulation, line conditionized system. Setting calculation line interference. 3 weather line centers, question mark communications. Fibonacci line swirl, setting calculation of 3 lines, high interference, and track communications. Directing line centers, 0 line operations, 0, 0, 0, 1 line setting, 0, 0, 0, track communication, 4 lines, and 3 lines, 3 lines equals 4. 4 lines of 1, 1 lines equals 4. 4 lines of 2, 2 lines equals 6. 6 lines of 8, line center line interference, travel communication setting. Directing lines of 0 line of rotation, setting line interference, router, route calculation of Wi-Fi, position of track line communication setting, direct line centers, vector of pi, coordinate line interference, and position of quads, calculation string line, set location setting, indirect signals, signature patterns, records of time sequence, position of pattern, line rotation, center calculation streamline, signature pattern, calculation line interference, Particle sun calculates line interference, father space line rotation setting, direct signal location, position location, operation line connection, high position location, operation setting, indirect signal location, operation system, position location, operation, calculation, position, calculation, modification, high interference, and calculation, zero gravity line interference, and ground operation. Done my equation. It's all set. She's all set at the cloud line. It's all done. It's all done. She's ready to go. So tomorrow line setting line interference shall be in trimester 8 and set line condition infinity line setting in direct location system. At 7,000 line channels, operation location setting. 6 in position, 3 over track, 4 line setting, 7 directions. Setting direct signals and set location setting in high interference. All calculate and modify through heat signature patterns of particle sun calculations and streamline connection setting. Setting all waving cycle line center line interference of travel communication setting and spectral communication interference of farther calculation line position of travel communications. All through mother earth line rotation and cloud line setting. Done by equation. All right? Okay, so make sure you drink your water after this line signature location and settings. Woo! I know there's a lot to go on through line setting locations, right? But it's all done. It's all done. It's all set up. Trimester 8 is coming up, line signature line streams. Okay, any questions in the comments? Let me know. See you soon. Adios.